wash, but you never pour. Let us go to the bedrock of this asylum. And so we made a leap into wild auditorium, and heard music, and sat and serenade under laurel choir, sung with a chestnut on tenor. The gray-eye pulled the brown from the hillside, but was undecided on green, and so applied 120 degrees to the spectrum, to be scattered as cyan, most drapes cerulean, and feasting unto appetite, flung from the hillside straight down to bedrock, that marbles as the moon verticals on the horizon with no notion of any name jade. Wild and full canopy theremins, a harmony of discord, with the wind stirring the jambalaya. The hill drew stone for easy chair to smoke about over Kegeling Creek, where I rubbed my chin into the rush loudens into silence, and ponder out onto high Hiawassee and taste the tailwind of past civilization. At the first turn, I was hallucined billy goat, and there was made the good highlands. The turn before, and even before that, was time when buck was believable in practical whitetail, and not so out of place in dumb cut daydreams. Also, when the stone sat cavern for shelter and bear would lament eviction, to later spoil my dear brother's siesta with a jump out the pear tree. A royal of berries skips down my quiet hillside, breaking my revelations in half. And with the rub of the chin, I drag on with half to arrive at the end of the beginning that slacken the fortification of this human bone, and I am astonished. All this tucker and all this time is just more bones for bedrock, and later natives forgot. Construct hysterical story calling old Benny Lonesome down the street God, and never knew his hatred for cummerbunds or how he perfectly refinished Widow McCarthy's mahogany hutch that November of never was. Oh, they will have their gold rush for certain, and no doubt they will find it in bedrock under my bones that never made it, and separated from all my logged passion and memory. I rub the chin one last and get on up the hill to begin what needs never be finished. As the sun sets, the shadows stretch out over the bedrock before we all go with it. A push from some invisible, centuries too late, tribunes high reasoning decorated the Volga for autumn. And in the pool echoed a ripple who was starlit and offered a rain for the seersuckered night. The bottomless cell of this enterprise, and the colorless moon, me think it never was blacker than this aged bedrock, who spits obsidian at shadows and leaves the blackbird the sorrow in its plumage. Rusticated in moires that sent fractals the old century lines pitted about the column. The jazz of rebirth was boomed about when the bedrock grumbled and shook out a wealth of gold, and not so modest in the heart when it divides the stone with the element of fate. Its secret rare to gaze upon, but was mumbled by old-timer in the slurry. He built church in bedrock, with a madness in hand through agedness, and gasped at the glint in the bedrock and went under in the sarcophagus, and left was only a single fern for epitaph. I see fractal, I see cleavage, I see Fibonacci on the hillside. I rub my chin frantic for some disorder in this paradise, and the bedrock burps out with trout fish that sets me a seizure in all that silvering mirage. You wash, but you never pour, repeats again, where I fall to knees before bedrock is spit in the water to curse my own existence. Does not invisible water see you low and rush to the sands of time? Cannot a Phoenician chisel cast you a schoolgirl, or a fiery horse rushing a flame into erosion? and so it is water. I submerge as naked as a dying pup at the revelation of water, and wholly, wholly I drink, and fight to the depths of my grace until I can fight no further, and found this holiest of holies be sat in a chalice of bedrock, and I weep as the water and my own water too will evaporate, fossil to the bedrock. I am naked and lost atop your garden, a testament above countless civilizations consumed in forgotten dirt. Not even a memory to the civilizations and apocalypses to come, sprouting from my dead tongue. I would jump graceful from this cliff into oblivion and sit about my decay, but the bedrock would defy me and deliver me back to this inescapable paradise. No matter, no how, we'll never get to the bottom of it.